Hello, Mr. MathWell here, and this is the introduction video for Physical Science 20. So if you are looking to maybe take Chemistry 30 next year in high school or Physics 30 next year, this is the course that you need. This is the prerequisite for those two courses. So anyway, welcome. I want to start off this course by talking about what science is and what physical science is. So I just want to draw your attention to the screen here, and I'm just going to pop over to my Word document. Branches of science. Physical science is the study of physical behavior around us, including the universe itself. Astronomy, physics, and chemistry are three categories that compose physical science. Physical science deals with the study of matter and its structure, while astronomy studies the universe itself. Chemistry deals with chemicals and matter. So physical science is talking mainly about physics, chemistry, and we don't talk a lot about astronomy in Physical Science 20, mainly physics and chemistry. All right, so the branches of science other than physics and chemistry have a little bit of a graphic here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to pause the video right now and see if you can identify, if you can read this. I'm sorry it's a bit fuzzy, but if you can identify the branches of science, and then I'll reveal the answers as we move along. So why don't you give it a try and see if you can identify what branches of science these are right here. Fill in the blanks. All right, so the study of weather is the first one over here that I'm going to talk about, and I'm not sure what you guessed for the study of weather, but if you watch the news and if you find out what the weather is, these are the people that will help you determine what the weather is going to be. Meteorologists, you've probably heard of that. So the branch of science that studies weather is meteorology. I should note that when we're talking about these terms, ology means the study of, simply. The study of. So you'll see ology a lot in these. Okay, the second one, the study of earth and rocks, etc., is geology. That's geology. And of course, you've heard of geology before. The study of space, astronomy. The study of the environment over here. The study of the environment is ecology. Ecosystems. The study of ecosystems, ecology. The study of traits, you see a little DNA strand there. The study of traits is genetics or heredity. Not one that's an ology, but the genetics. The study of chemical reactions, that's an easy one, that's chemistry. The study of laws, that's force and motion, etc., is physics. The study of living things, botany is plants, zoology is animals. The general category is biology, you guessed it. And the study of the ocean, it's a tough one, oceanography. Okay? All right, so those are the main branches of science. And so if you hear those words, you kind of know what they talk about. Let's move to this, science and technology. So science and technology are different. They are two different terms, but they are interrelated, as you'll see in a moment. Science is the study of how things work and how things interact, just basically for the sake of knowing about them so we can have a deeper understanding. Technology is applying scientific principles in order to create something new or to help our lives in some way. So let's take a look at this little graphic here. Over here in the yellow sphere is science itself. So again, just the study of how things work for the purposes of understanding them better. Over here on this side, we have engineering. Okay, so engineering is strictly application. Okay, so how do we apply science to make things? How can we assemble things? Okay, and technology is the overlap, really, the connection between science, just for knowledge sake, and engineering application. Technology combines the two. And so what are these little spaces in here? In order to mesh science with engineering, we need creativity and innovation. So this little graphic shows how science, technology, engineering are connected, and a full understanding of science and technology is also something that we hope to accomplish in this class. All right, so this next part here is basically a personal study for you. It'll be an assignment most likely in your class, worth some marks for you. but I want you to take a look at some websites here, and I have them up, and I'll have them on my website as well, just some buttons you can click to link. But I want you to study, what is the importance of physical science? So why are we studying this? So I want you to look at possible careers that are physics and science related. So select 3 of each: physics careers and chemistry careers, from this website here that I'm suggesting, or another website if you want, but this one is pretty good. And summarize what you've learned about each one. So you're going to write a little ditty about some careers that may interest you. And the second part is, this one says, give 10 reasons why every high school student should study physics. So what's good about studying physics? Why should you continue with physics? What positives can you pull out of this class? Similarly for chemistry, 10 reasons why chemistry is important to study. And then at the end here, I want you to take this little quiz. Now, some of these questions are extremely hard, I would say. Some of them are easy, some of them may be pretty hard for you. And some of them may be a little tricky. I think it's kind of a fun little quiz. But take the quiz, and I want you to reflect on your quiz, submit your score. Okay, I won't be using that for marks so much, but I just kind of want to see where you're at. And I want you to also copy down one question that you got wrong, along with the correct answer. Okay, so I can see that you've at least reflected on something that maybe that you've learned something. Okay, so that's our first assignment on this this intro. I am going to move along to part 2 here on the same video, so that if you missed a day or whatever, you can catch up on this. So we're talking about, the next part is talking about the scientific method. Now, when we approach science, the value, one of the most important things about science is that we can approach a problem or we can learn new information about something in a fairly systematic way. Now, the scientific method doesn't have to be followed precisely step by step every time you're curious about something, but generally it's good to have a framework, and it's something called the scientific method that we're going to study. So I'm just going to reveal sort of the steps of the scientific method sort of one at a time. And up here at the very beginning, you're going to observe. You're going to observe something that's happening, right? So I'm going to try to figure out what's happening here. This is what I see, right? That's the first step. This is where I'm at. This is what I see. Now, where do you go from there? After observation, you have some kind of hypothesis. So a hypothesis is an educated guess. What is your thinking? What is your explanation for what you're seeing? Or what could possibly be happening? If it's a problem, what is the problem behind what you're seeing? Or what's your predicted outcome for what's happening right now? After the hypothesis, you are going to work to test the hypothesis or to falsify things that could possibly be ruled out. Okay, so you're going to have some kind of, this is sort of where the experimentation sort of comes in. You're going to start to test the hypothesis. After you do that, you are going to have some results. Okay, and what do you do with those results? Well, there are 2 things you can do with those results. If the results supports your hypothesis, okay, over here on the left, then what you would do is you would go ahead and you would repeat your testing to make sure that it is repeatable and reliable. So if you get the results that you expect, hey, let's go back and try that again. And if we get the results again, then we might be on to something. If that happens a couple times, or however many times you feel is necessary, then what happens is you can make a conclusion. And in the larger picture, you can say, hey, this is repeatable experimentation. I've got the same results. Now I can form some kind of solid scientific theory behind it. Now, what happens if your results are inconsistent with your hypothesis? Well, we now revise the hypothesis and then continue to go back and test. And if the results again are inconsistent with what we have expected to see, well, then we need to go back and say, hey, why am I getting these different observations or getting these different results? There must be something I'm missing. So you could go back and you would sort of adjust until you get the results that you have predicted, and then you repeat and so on. So that's generally the scientific method. And if you have questions about that, feel free to contact me and let me know. I can go over this with you. All right, so for this step here, I think we're going to end the video. We're going to talk about measurement in the next video. So this first video is a bit of an introduction just to physical science, science in general, and technology, some career exploration, and the scientific method.